Welcome. My name is Leanne, and I'll lead you through this gentle yoga class today. If you have a set of yoga blocks, they might be useful. A yoga strap might be useful. Don't have to have those. If you don't have them, you can do the postures just fine without them. So bringing yourself onto your mat, and you're welcome to start seated or kneeling or lying down. So however you want to be for these first couple of moments here. You're just going to settle your body in. You're going to close your eyes. Feel the support of the floor underneath you. And then check in with yourself and just notice how your body feels or how you feel today. And we do this so that we recognize where we're at. And then we also begin to understand what we need in order to feel more balanced or more harmonious. You can feel your breath. And gently slow down your breath. And see if you can let it flow so that it flows smoothly in and then smoothly back out. So the flow of the inhale down into the upper abdomen, lower ribs, lower lobes of your lungs. And then the flow of that exhale back out of your body. So smooth, gentle, flowing breaths. And then we're going to practice taking some of this smooth, flowing movement into our postures today. Okay? So when you're ready, you can open up your eyes and you can come to seated, and you can stretch your legs out front and your hands can come back behind you on the floor so you can rest back into your hands, and then you can circle out your ankles. So whichever way you chose to go with your feet first is perfectly fine. When it feels right, you're going to switch directions. So you can go a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. Just moving back and forth between those circles. Waking up the ankles, move the tops of the feet towards you and the tops of the feet away from you, relaxing your toes. So we're still moving at the ankles. And then you might let the feet relax, and you might wiggle the toes and let them spread out. See if you can move them all. So just waking up to our feet, so the tops of the feet and the soles of the feet and the toes and the ankles. All right, let the feet relax. So let the legs go. Little space between your legs and begin to roll. So you're going to roll the legs inward towards each other and then outward away from each other. So you can get a little bit of a rhythm going here. And you can probably see and feel your feet moving. Can you let your awareness come up into your thighs so that you can recognize that the movement of the legs is coming from the thighs. So we're moving our leg bones in our hip sockets. Rolling open, rolling in, loosening up at our hips. Let the legs relax, and they just might fall out a little bit. And they might fall out differently. So the right leg is going to feel a little bit different probably than the left leg here, and that's fine. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to bring both feet to the floor and then come on up off your hands and just gently, you can loop your arms around your legs. Okay, now you want to use your arms as little as possible here. So your back is nice and tall, shoulders are easy. You're going to rock yourself back and be balanced on your tail. So your toes are up off of the floor. Now you're welcome to stay here with toes up. If you want a little bit more, lift the shins. So you might shift your hands to behind your thighs. You don't have to use hands if you don't want to. And again, you want to be using the arms as little as possible. So we're cultivating the strength through the core of our body. Okay, shoulders are back and down, spine is nice and long. So we're trying not to round the back, we're trying to have the back nice and long. Okay, let the bottoms of the feet come together and the outside edges of the feet are going to come to the floor. Knees are going to drop wide. Heart's going to lift, so let the legs go down and then you can tip forward. And think about your heart coming forward in the space so your back is still long and you're doing your best just to let the legs go. And maybe check into that slow, maybe flowing breath. So you're softening the jaw, the throat, the shoulders. Okay, bring yourself back up, roll your feet back to the floor. We're going to come back to that balance pose. So let your toes come up off the ground, lift your chest. Okay, if you like, hands behind the thighs, shins come up. Okay, and then if you want a little bit more, we're going to tap the floor. So you can drop one foot down and then lift that foot up and then do the same thing with the other leg. Okay, so just take your time, one leg at a time. And you might be just tapping and lifting a little bit and tapping and lifting a little bit. Think about those thigh bones being parallel to each other. And then when you're ready, both shins up or the legs the same. And then your feet can come down. All right, come on up into table pose. So onto all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We have a neutral back here, so table pose. And then we're going to come to cow pose. So you're going to let the pelvis roll and the belly gently drop and the chin just ever so gently lift. Now, if this isn't comfortable, then each time we come here, instead of this, you can do table pose. So you can have a neutral spine. Okay, take a breath in. As you exhale, bring your seat towards your heels. So you drop back as you breathe out, and then you inhale as you either come up to cow or table. So your inhale brings you up, and your slow exhale takes you back. So see if you can smooth this out. Right? So we're smoothing out the movement, and we're letting the breath also flow. Okay, come up one more time, table or cow pose. And then exhale back to child's pose. And you can stay this time. So if you like your knees a little wider, you can shift them a little wider. You can bring your head to your hands or your head to the floor. Okay, what's the breath feeling like here? Remember that fluidness that we're just trying to practice. And if our breath moves more fluidly, then our body moves more fluidly and vice versa. Okay, come on back up into table pose when you're ready. Okay, and then we're going to step partway forward with the right foot. So you're going to step it maybe off your mat. So it's wide and the knee and toes are angled outward. So if you have blocks that you want to be able to move, you can shift them closer to you. And then we're going to come up. So we're actually standing on this left knee. The left shin is on the floor behind us and the right leg is angled out. So your right foot might be off your mat. Okay, take your left arm and give it a hug across your body. So drop the shoulder, your right hand is up above the elbow. There's maybe some new space in between the left shoulder blade and your spine. You slide the right hand to the left elbow and bring the left elbow up. So both arms are up. So nestle in your neck. You might be supporting the arm up. You might be moving it back. You might be moving it down. Okay? If this is not comfortable, just walk yourself back a step and just stay with bringing that left arm across your body. You could also here tip to the right. So the left side gets to lengthen. And again, if you're not comfortable with your arms up this high, maybe you're going to drop the right hand down and maybe just bring the left hand to the shoulder or to the hip. Okay, so the left side of us is a little longer than the right side. Come back to vertical. Bring the hands back down to the floor. So here's where blocks could be useful if you have them. You can bring your forearms down to your blocks if you want to. Or they could come down to the floor. Or maybe you're just going to bring hands to the floor. You can always bend elbows if you've got a little bit more space there to sink down to the inside of that right leg. Okay, bring the left hand back to the floor or a block, right hand to the right leg, and turn to the right. You can leave the right hand on the right leg or you can lift it up towards the ceiling. So your right foot, your left hand, and your left sort of knee and the top of the foot all on the floor. So you've got this nice stable base to turn from. Okay, unwind your turn. So bring your right hand back to the floor. You bring your body back up. And we're going to put the right knee on the floor. So you can drop that right knee down. So you got both knees on the ground and just roll out your shoulders. So your shoulder blades, your shoulder joints, a little bit of movement maybe in your upper back and in your chest and your collarbones. So whatever movements here, feel good. Okay, let the shoulders go. You can give the arms a little shake and the hands a little shake, and then we'll come over and do the left side. So step your left foot to the floor. So remember, it can be off your mat if it's comfortable that wide. So the knee is on top of the ankle, the foot is flat, the shin is straight up and down. Take your right arm and hug it across. So you're holding the right arm above the elbow, below the shoulder. Okay, an option is to put the right hand on the shoulder, left shoulder. Sort of flowing breath. Doesn't have to be deep, doesn't have to be big. It can just be light. Okay, slide the left hand to the right elbow and then move the arms up, nestle in your neck. Remember, options here. You could stay with the arm hugging over if you wanted to. And then the option to tip to the left. Maybe breath flowing in and out of that right lung. Remember, options with the arms. Drop the left arm down, right hand to the shoulder. Okay, come on back up. Let the arms go. Bring your hands down to the floor here or the blocks. So we're to the inside of the left leg. You could bend your elbows and sink or bring your elbows down to the ground or to the blocks if you like. Noticing whatever you notice in your body. Letting your body be your guide. Okay, right hand can stay on the floor or a block, left hand to the left leg, turning to the left. And if you like, you're lifting that left arm up. Opening up to the left side. Okay, unwind your turn. Come back to table pose. So you can put the left knee down, and then we're going to come onto the belly. So you can lower yourself down onto your mat. Okay, support your head with your hands. So your forehead can rest on your stacked palms. Tops of your feet on the floor. Shoulders rest, jaw softens. That breath that flows in and out. You can always come back to this place. You can always come back and rest here. When you're ready, slide your hands beside you so your fingers point forward. So the hands are sort of up near the head. And from here, we're going to come up into a gentle cobra pose. So you're going to let the head and the heart come up off of the floor and then lower yourself back down. Okay, so if you inhale up and exhale down, see if that movement can feel fluid. So there's sort of an even pace to it. You've got the support of the breath. You're listening to your body. Maybe you're just lifting the chest up, keeping the lower ribs on the floor, and then coming back down. You're able to keep the eyes and the jaw soft. You do 2 more. When you're done, rest. So stack the hands back underneath your forehead and relax. So relax your shoulders and your back, your pelvis and your legs. Okay, we're going to let the upper body stay on the floor now, and we're going to come into the legs. So let the right leg lift, and then slow it as it comes back down. Okay, and then come on over to the left leg. So the left leg can rise up, and then it can come back down. So you're going to alternate. Both hips are staying on the floor, so the pelvis isn't moving. So if you're feeling this in your lower back, then you try to let the movement be a little smaller, or instead of lifting the leg up straight, leave the thigh on the floor and bend the knee. Okay, and again, can you sort of feel like you're moving at a pace that lets you lift the leg up with a fluid movement and lower it back down with the same fluid movement? And that sometimes means we need to slow down. It sometimes means we need to not lift as high. Okay, we're going to lift the left leg for the last time. And then when you've done that, you're going to relax. So relax the feet and the legs and the back and the chest and the shoulders and the arms and the hands and the head. Okay, feel your breath, the way it's meeting the floor here perhaps. Okay, so we're going to put those 2 movements that we've done together. So slide your hands out from underneath your head so your fingers are back pointing forward, your forearms are on the floor beside you. Okay, so the head and the heart come up and one leg lifts. Remember, you have the option to keep the thigh on the floor and just lift the lower leg up. Lower everything down. So inhale as you lift, head and heart and the opposite leg, and then let it move back down to the ground. So you're inhaling and lifting whatever you want. If you just want to do the upper body or just the lower body, that's fine. Exhaling back down. Okay, so we're taking our time, taking breaks when we need to. Okay, let's do 1 more of each. so that we're even. Okay, and then come back down and relax. So take a breath. And then you can let your breath out, and then you can come to child's pose. So hands will come beside you on the floor, and you can press back through the hands and walk your seat back towards your heels. So support your head. Follow your flowing breath. You're soft through the jaw and the throat. It's just a light breath. Maybe that breath is coming into the belly or into the back. Maybe you notice it in your sides. Okay, so from here you can begin to bring your head back up. So you can come on back up into table pose, and we're going to come to our back. And if you have a strap and you want to use it, you can bring it with you. Okay, so lower yourself down. You can settle your back to the floor however that's comfortable. So maybe give your knees a hug. And then you can put your feet down. Okay, so when our back is neutral on the ground, we should have a little bit of space between the low back and the floor. So you don't want to flatten it out and you don't want to accentuate it. If laying flat on the floor is not comfortable for your neck or your shoulders or your back, then you could put something underneath your head, right? You could put a towel or a cushion underneath your head to give you a little bit of lift in that part of your body. Okay. Let's bring the right leg in. So you can interlace the fingers, let the hands rest on the shin or behind the thigh if that's better for your knee. And just give that leg a gentle hug just by resting the arms. So easy breath. Okay, gently turn your ankle on. So the top of your foot's coming towards your shin, toes are relaxed. Now let the hands come to your hips. So this right knee is now in. So you're going to extend that right leg as straight as you can towards the opposite wall, just so the leg is above the floor. So it's not coming towards the ceiling. Okay, and then let the knee come back in. Okay, so your hands on your hips are just sort of this reminder that the pelvis can be still here, or maybe it might move a little bit, but it's sort of a stable base as the right leg comes in, just as far as is comfortable, and as the leg moves away, moving at your knee and your hip. Okay, let the leg move away, and then let the leg come in, and then let the foot go up towards the ceiling. So you could keep your hands at your hips, or you could bring your hands behind your right leg if you want to. The thigh is going to stay still, bend the knee. So drop the heel and then reach the heel, the foot up towards the ceiling. Let the knee bend as far as you can bend it, and then straighten it as far as you can straighten it. So you can feel the squeeze around the knee and the thigh getting stronger. Let the knee bend. So do two more. All right, let the leg come up and let it stay up. So you could hold behind the thigh here if you want to, or not. Just come into the ankle for a moment. You could circle the foot if you want to come back to that movement that we started with, or you could point and flex, sort of being aware of your foot again. Okay, and then just let the top of the foot gently come towards you. And again, now you can hold behind the leg, or if you want the strap here, you're going to loop it around your foot. You're going to be able to hold the strap then. Okay, back of the pelvis on the floor. If you like, left leg can go down to the ground. Okay, so you might have hands behind the right leg. You might be holding a strap. You don't have to be holding the leg with your hands. This would be more sort of work in the body to have the leg be up and heel reaching towards the ceiling and trying to get the leg to straight. There's a whole lot more work in that if it feels like a place that you want to challenge yourself. Okay, let the strap come off. Put the left leg down, bend the right knee, right foot to the left thigh, left hand to the right knee, and come to a twist. So your right knee is going to come across your body, over towards the floor on the left. Relax your shoulders, maybe move the right arm a little bit away from the side of your body. Okay, maybe turn the head to the left. And let the jaw go. Roll back onto your back. Right foot's going to come back to the floor. Left foot's going to come back to the floor. Put yourself back in line and then bring your left knee in. Give it a hug. So thigh bone towards your body. Okay, move your hands to your hips. Okay, think about a fluid movement here as you extend the left leg, just as far as you can extend it. Okay, and then let the knee bend and let the knee come back in towards you. And then press the bottom of the foot away from you, reaching it towards the opposite wall. And then let the leg come the other way. So we're looking for this smooth movement at the knee, at the hip, which might require us to slow down or to make it a little bit more gentle. Okay, which you do just by not going as far and just straightening the knee as much as you can. So your range might be a little smaller, and that's okay. Okay, last one. Okay, let the leg come in and then let the foot go up towards the ceiling. Now keep your thigh where it is, bend your knee, so drop your heel. And then reach your foot up towards the ceiling, trying to lengthen out the left knee, bend the left knee, and then reach it up. So kneecap feels like it's coming towards your hip perhaps, bending the knee, and then reaching up. Okay, do one more. And then the foot can stay up. Okay, so you can hold behind the leg if you like. You can move at the ankle if you like. So if you circle, then a couple one way and then a couple the other way. You can wiggle out your toes. Okay, and then you can reach through the heel gently and extend the knee as best you can so the leg is straight. Now maybe you're holding behind the thigh and bringing the thigh towards you. Maybe you're using your strap and looping it around the left foot. Okay, so you could be bringing the leg in as a means of lengthening and stretching out the back of the leg. You could just be letting the leg be upside down, right? The foot above the knee, above the hip. You could put the right leg down. And if you wanted to take your hands off for a moment, you can sort of feel that little bit more of activity come into through your core, through the hips, to be able to reach through that left heel and keep that leg up. While your jaw is soft and your eyes and your shoulders are all soft. Okay, let the left knee bend, straighten the right leg, left foot to the right thigh, right hand to the left knee, bring the left leg across. So your left hip comes up into your twist. Your shoulders are staying down, right arm moves, or left arm rather, moves a little bit away, maybe from the left side of your body. And if you like, you're going to turn your head to the right. and let the jaw soften. Okay, come on back onto your back. Give your legs a hug. Rock a little from side to side. Feeling the floor beneath your back or beneath the back of your pelvis. And then let your feet come down. Turn your head to the left. And then turn your head to the right. And then come back to neutral. Okay, now you get to relax. So choose a position that you can be comfortable being still in. So you could take your blocks or a pillow and tuck it underneath your knees. You could leave your feet on the floor and rest your knees together. You could let the legs go down. Okay, if you want something under your neck, you can support your neck. Okay, so you're choosing a position that your body is comfortable resting in. Okay, feel the ground underneath you as a supportive force so you can let go of effort and tension from the body. We're inviting in ease. Okay, your breath here. Can you notice the easy flow of your breath? So the breath flows in and it flows back out. Okay, so this sense of fluidity in our breath or in our movement comes from the water element in us. And a large percentage of our body is made up of fluids. So every cell in us has fluid in it. We have lots of fluids in our body in terms of blood and lymph and saliva. And all of those fluids in us keep us healthy. So imagine for yourself a favorite form of water. So it could be a beverage, a drink. Okay, it could be rain, a waterfall, a river, a lake, an ocean. Just a form of water. And imagine it. Imagine being near it or with it. And what is it that you feel when you bring your mind, your awareness to this form of water? How does it nourish you? What do you like about it? Reconnect with your body and feeling the flow of your breath as it flows in and out. That breath gets to wash through you. So take your time. When you're ready, you could move your feet to the floor, and then you could bring your legs in. And you might roll to your side if you're ready to come up. Top hands will press into the floor to help you come back to vertical. And just take a moment at vertical to check in with yourself. And then when you're ready, you can stretch and move your body as it would like to be moved. And you can flow back into your day. So thank you for joining practice today. Have a great day, everybody.